I had so much fun making these thank you cards. I just had to show you all the possibilities. I don't think I ended up making the same card twice, but let me just flip through and show you. That one uses the little hippopotamus. This is from the Animal Expedition Designer Series paper. A little kangaroo. Isn't he precious? Another version. I'm also using the Brights paper. It comes in a 6x6 pack. It has polka dots and stripes in all of the bright colors collection from Stampin' Up. I just think here's another version using the giraffe. Another hippo with the purple polka dots. The giraffe. And just simple embellishments, a few of the little glimmer dots. Same style paper, totally different designs. The thank you Finlet cuts out with the Big Shot, just in one swoop through. Sometimes I backed it with the little contrasting color. This is a designer paper. This one I backed it with just a solid purple cardstock. There we go. So I just wanted you to see all these possibilities, and then I'm going to show you how to make a birthday card that's very similar to this. They go together in a flash. I used my Stamparatus so that I could stamp the insides. On the inside I just put Big Time, so it's thank you Big Time. And then there's also some sentiments you can use for birthdays. So I'm gonna change to a happy birthday Finlet, and I'll show you how to make the cards. I'm gonna start by cutting my paper for my card base. This is Whisper White cardstock. It's 8.5 by 11, and I've got my Stampin' Trimmer here, upside down. Let me switch that around. And usually when I cut a card, I will go across the middle this direction. But this card, as you can see, opens at the bottom. And the only difference is I need to cut the other direction. So I'm going to cut at 4 1/4 inches. So here's my card base, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/2 inches. Using this scoring blade on the Stampin' Trimmer, and it's that light gray one. And that'll make us a simple little card base that's going to open at the bottom instead of at the top. The next step is to add my paper on the front. Now I am using this paper from the In Color collection, and it is just gorgeous. Grapefruit Grove, Pineapple Punch, lovely lipstick. Call Me Clover is the green, and the blue is called Blueberry. And so we're using Blueberry to go on the front of our card this time. So I'll quickly adhere that. I'm also going to be changing the card up just a little bit. Pardon my manicure. I have an appointment on Saturday. I haven't been able to get in. So we have a blueberry base, and I'm going to make it a birthday card instead of a thank you card. Now look at this. See how I got off just a little bit? So easy to fix that. I'm just going to trim it. It's just for a little ways, and then we're good to go. Now I'm going to use some contrasting colors. This is Lemon Lime Twist, and this is one of the papers that's in the Animal Expedition paper set that I'm using to get the little rhinoceros. And I do apologize to rhinoceri everywhere. I kept calling them hippopotamuses, I think, at the first of the video. So I'm going to use 2 layers this time, just for fun. just like that. And then my little rhinoceros, I use the actual die cuts that go with this set. So let me show you what I'm using. This is the Animal Friends die cut and the Animal Expedition paper. So if you look at the paper, you can see how I've just cut a chunk out and then I'll run it through the Big Shot or fussy cut it. The beautiful thing about this particular bundle is my rhinoceros has a framelit to cut it out, which is what I used on this one. Let me show it to you how it looks. And it also has a framelit for the kangaroo and the giraffe, as well as the branch and then some extra embellishments. So this would look like kind of like a little bit of a giraffe skin. And this one fits the giraffe actual cutout right here. Now, also, it fits on the animal outing stamp set. So if you chose to, you could stamp the animals and then color them with blends or watercolor pencils, whatever you prefer. And then these framelits will also fit exactly on the stamped images. That doesn't always happen, so that's pretty exciting. Also, the sentiment I'm going to be using a happy birthday framelit on the front and the Wild About You in the inside of the card. So I'll show you that while I have the stamp set out. So I have already cut out my rhinoceros, and the difference between that and fussy cutting, there's not much difference if you take a look at that. Can't really tell the difference. I fussy cut a whole bunch of them the other day. It took me maybe 30 minutes. It wasn't hard at all. So your choice, whichever, depending on if you want to invest in the framelits. So I'm going to adhere this with regular tape runner and then pop dot my rhinoceros. And I want him to be almost at the bottom. For the sentiment, I'm using Happy Birthday. So I have used the Happy Birthday framelit to cut out. Looks like that. Use it on my Big Shot. And I cut out one in Lemon Lime Twist and one in the white, Whisper White. So I'm going to glue these together with a glue pen. I'm using the old Stampin' Up! Glue pen. You could use a sponge with the Tombow glue. You could use the fine tip glue pen. There's lots of choices. But I can either I could just go plain, or I could put the white on top and off-center it just a little bit to give it a little extra dimension. Or I could switch it and put the white on the bottom and the Lemon Lime Twist on top. And I'm thinking it's a little easier to see with the white on the top, so I think that's how I'll do it. So let me get these all adhered and we'll finish off our card. For the rhinoceros, I'm using Stampin' Dimensionals, and then I'm using a half of a little mini one for this little tiny area where the bird is, just so that it doesn't just has a little extra support. And remember, you're going to want to put the rhinoceros toward the bottom of your card to make sure you have enough room for that happy birthday sentiment, because it's a little bit larger than the thank you. Very good. When I do 2 layers of a framelit or thinlit, I like to put the glue on the top one, and then I will add the bottom layer first, and then I'll go back and attach it to the card. This is just a little 2-way glue pen, and there are several of these. Stampin' Up! Has retired them, unfortunately, and I am really starting to like it. It doesn't get too much glue on there so that it seeps to the other side, so I've really enjoyed using this. There are several others available. You can use a sponge and daub on some Tombow glue if you like, or you can use the fine tip glue. I have trouble with that one leaking to the other side because the glue is really thin, so that's why I've kind of gone to this. So here's my sentiment, and I'm going to just offset it. It can go either direction, just a little bit so that the green pokes out behind it. I'm a little further over than I usually am on the bottom. So I can just pull that up and adjust it. Okay, there we go. There's my happy birthday. And then I'm going to add more glue to the back of that. And I can adhere it to the card. One of the things that I love about Stampin' Up! Is how they color coordinate everything in their products. So this lemon lime twist is part of a paper pack that you can get when you purchase the Animal Expedition Designer Series paper. They give you a list in the catalog that shows you exactly what papers coordinate, and then for most of the paper packs, they put together 3 of the most popular cardstock colors so that you can purchase them in a set, and that saves you a little bit of money if you're going to be using it. So let me show you where that is. The Animal Expedition paper is on page 190 of the annual catalog. If you need a catalog, I'll have a link for you to email me if you don't have a demonstrator and want to be my customer. So here's the paper, and then here's the coordinating cardstock. So I buy this that coordinates so I can use it for lots of different projects, and I'm using that lemon lime twist out of there for my sentiment. So we are almost finished. I'm going to go ahead and finish the front since we're there, and I'm going to add 3 little glitter enamel dots, and these come in varying sizes. I'm going to add 3 of the same size. You could go small, medium, large, however you want to do that. So just grab a little something to pick those up with. I like my paper piercer. There's also a brand new tool. I have ordered one, but I haven't gotten it yet, that will pick up these. It has several different functions. So when that comes in, I will show you that. Okay, so I've got my little dots on there, and then for the inside I need to stamp my sentiment. I'm using Blueberry Bushel, and this is the new ink pad. Love it. You just pull up, and this is brand new. I don't think I've even used it. So I'm going to do this little trick to push that down because it's a little bit stiff when you first start using it. Once you've used it a few times, it will loosen up. So I've inked up in Blueberry, Wild About You. Gonna stamp it right here in the middle. Isn't that a pretty color? I love that. And my card is done. Isn't that pretty? This is a happy birthday card. Now what I'm going to do is put a group of these cards together in one of those clear boxes and decorate it up for a teacher gift for my kids to give their teachers on the first day of school. So let me finish that part up and I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the teacher box. I just used one of the acetate clear boxes that we sell, and I added 5 cards and 5 envelopes. It fits the 5.5 by 4 1/4 size card, which this is. Then I added some granny apple green ribbon and used some linen thread to tie the little tag on. See, I made a mess while I was stamping. This is using the stitched framelits, and I'm going to do a video just on how to make the box for a teacher gift for you. So I'll put a link below to that. Thanks so much for joining me. If there's anything you need, there's links at the end of the video to my online store or my blog if you'd like to get more ideas or information. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.